Boom! What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to the greatest combat sports and culture show in the entire universe, the Fight Podcast. I'm your host, SERG VICENTE, and this is episode 301 of the show. Today, I am so excited to get this dude on the show today. A lot of people talk about being two-sport athletes. This dude's legitimately a two-sport athlete. I am talking about the man who took Top Rank by storm in 2020. He's doing the exact same thing this year to the PFL. We are talking about Cassius Clay Collard. Cassius Clay, what it do, man? Welcome to the Fight Podcast.
Hey, yeah, what's up, man?
Doing very well, man. How's your day going today? Thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Yeah, for sure, it's going good. Got a workout in this morning, kicking it with my dog, man. So
That's what's up. What kind of dog you got, man? Oh,
he's a German
beautiful,
Shepherd.
man. Beautiful dog, man. How old is he?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's what's up, man. Well, dude, look. 3. Oh, dude, that 3-year-old dogs, they still like I have a dog. Mine's like 7 now. He's still kind of like up, that puppy stage, but 3 is still like that's that perfect age for dogs. They're still like energetic. They're still
Oh,
running around. Still a
dude.
lot of fun, man. That's
Yeah, I
dope,
can't
bro.
wait till he calms down a little bit.
Well, dude, let's jump into it, man. I'm obviously we have the PFL coming up this year, but brother, you are making a straight living of proving the doubters wrong. And obviously, you had a great fight earlier this year with Anthony Pettis, the legendary Anthony Pettis. But fam, I have to talk about a little bit what you did at Top Rank because nobody saw you going out there literally just going 5 for 6 last year, during the pandemic. How was that experience? Because when you go into it, a lot of people didn't know what to do. The fact that you're able to jump over to another sport and still perform at such a high level, what was that like for you?
Oh man, I've been fighting my whole life. I started boxing when I was a kid, so I'm just a tough dude, you know. Um,
I love that shit.
uh, my coach had this idea that boxing's gonna help me become a better mixed martial artist, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we started doing a little bit of boxing, and I think it did make me a better mixed martial artist, and I got some wins doing it, so it was fun.
Well, it had to be dope for you, man, because when you think, I mean, obviously the PFL had, 2020 off because of the pandemic. But you were able to go to Top Rank. You were in the bubble with Top Rank. And dude, for those who don't know, I don't know who, if you had to be living on a rock, you know who Top Rank is, but you're with the legendary Bob Arum. And you're fighting fighters, dude. Gojado, Torelli, these are guys that people were expecting to be somebody. And what is it that you did differently in boxing that did you feel like it was the pacing? Like what separated you from the normal, quote unquote, traditional boxer?
Man, a lot of things.
Okay.
A lot of things separate me from the traditional boxer. I got I set my punches up different, my angles are different. I'll like switch step and
Yeah.
jab and like angle the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Um clinch work, I know it's
Right.
not like boxing, but like clinch work, it does happen in boxing, so I think that kind of
Absolutely.
helps. Being able to
Yeah.
like shuck a guy off and turn him and then land my shots. So I
Right.
think the clinch work is a little different. Um, the gloves are big too.
Dude. Oh, bro.
So yeah, I can I
Gloves
can
is
really I can really wallop with those gloves. You can really swing those things. Not you can kind you can be a little more reckless swinging them.
see
If you
it.
catch an elbow or a hand or something, it's not as bad, with those big gloves
Facts.
on. So,
Oh,
um, Yeah, there's a
Well,
lot of things. I don't know though,
mhm. Well,
Yeah,
it's interesting, man.
5-1. The 5-1. The last one was real close too.
It
I
was no,
thought.
man. You've had all the
Yeah.
fights, like and don't get it twisted. I think at that point in time, especially towards the end of the year, you got to the point where you were like, you were boxing's darling. You know what I'm saying? Even the boxing community was paying attention because you know how it is. A lot of times, boxing community feels as if they are, it's definitely a different vibe, and people don't want to give one of the other sport respect. You were starting to get that respect. And in terms of, like I said, the distance and, like I said, the differences in boxing, do you feel it? Because I've always thought there was a huge difference in terms, like, obviously the distance, right? People don't understand the distance,
Yeah.
and the MMA fighters have there's a different distance that MMA fighters, operate out of. And boxers don't do that. I felt like that
Yeah.
you were probably get like a lot of advantages through that. Am I right?
For sure. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. MMA, you got to be a little more careful because
yeah,
you get a little too close to guys, taking you down and putting you to
right.
your back.
Yeah,
You back up a little too far, a little too far away, and you're not ready, and the guy steps and throws a real long kick. So
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
there's you got to be a little more careful with the distance in
right.
mixed martial arts.
Absolutely.
But
No,
and that
absolutely.
it also plays in the other way with yeah, it's just a huge difference in boxing,
Yeah,
because it plays
yeah.
both ways. So
Mhm.
the
So
distance
have you been?
is a huge difference.
Well, let me ask you this, man, because the fact that you're in both sports, I love it because I could legitimately ask you this. The difference between MMA and boxing, I've always felt at the top of the sport, where you are in MMA, at the top of the sport, man, yo, everybody fights the best of the best. Boxing, it's not like that. So I always felt like it seems as if it's skewed. Do you feel like you're getting, like, the talent wise? Are you getting the best of the best in MMA, or like how do you like the way that is handled? Do you feel like people should be brought up a little bit more, or do you like how it is in MMA where they just throw you to the wolves?
Well, a lot of that has to do with the individual, and like a lot of boxers
Makes
will
sense.
be like, "Oh, I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna get 10 wins. I'm gonna." Like, you look at like, if you go look at a lot of undefeated guys' records in boxing,
They fought a gang
at
of
the
cab
guys they
drivers.
fought, it's like 0-3, 2-7,
Right.
4-19. Like, they're not. So, and then they get this record that looks really good and gets them talked about. Oh, 20-0, and then um they do take. You have to take a tough fight. If you're gonna run into somebody tough eventually.
Eventually.
Um, and I think that's the top guys in boxing. They're running into the tough guys
Hmm.
now. Eventually, those are the top guys in boxing.
Right. Right. So
As far as an MMA, man, just the MMA fighter attitudes, like, I'll fight anybody, anywhere, anytime.
mhm,
Let's rock. Boxers are like, nah, man. I'm not. If I'm gonna fight, it's gonna be this guy for this much money. Let's make sure. Like,
mhm,
who's gonna, they're a little more like plan it out. Boxers do,
right.
but MMA fighters, man, it's just their mentality. They're like, anybody, let's sign,
Facts.
give me the contract, let's go. you know 50 bucks, 50 bucks, I'll sign it, let's fight. So I
That's what's up.
don't know.
Well, dude, that leads you perfectly into the PFL because now you're at a place where it is like a legitimate tournament style. It's not like the UFC with this pay-per-view model where everybody's still there's a little bit of politics. It's if you win, you fucking move on. If you don't, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you have an opportunity, but maybe you don't. You're ranked number 2 right now. You're rocking through the tournament, man. How do you enjoy the tournament style of the PFL? And how has it been? Because again, even in this one, people have been knocking you or doubting you, should I say?
Yeah, man, I just like knowing when I'm gonna fight. Having it be. like I get a fight a couple times this year, and I don't gotta worry about nothing. You know, like when I'm gonna fight again or who I'm gonna like. It's all planned out, man. I just get to train and freaking figure out the date and plan around it, and it's awesome. You know, the tournament
That's
is
cool.
awesome.
How
Yeah,
how
you
has it been?
know,
Mhm.
two fights in the
No
bag,
worries.
man. You know what I'm saying? We got two more to go.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so we got a crucial couple months coming up, so we're working. Um, and yeah, two fights, man.
That's what's up, man. No, dude, and honestly, the fights
Let
that
them
you've
doubt
had,
us. Let them doubt
hey,
us,
there
huh?
we go. Let them down. Hey, and honestly, it's so great you saying that too, because in boxing, in half of my show, I talk about I love boxing. You know, we have episodes dedicated straight to boxing. So when we have people come on, I remember when you were fighting last year, everybody was looking like, oh man, I don't know who this dude is, but it was funny because by the end of the year, everybody was on your team, and now I feel like you have those people that were rocking with you in Top Rank because Top Rank is also ESPN. People are still paying attention and you're starting to get that crossover. Are you feeling the love from the boxing community? Shit, and the
Yeah,
MMA
man.
community for
Well,
that matter after beating Anthony Pettis.
I mean, you can't like eventually you can't deny. You know, eventually you can't just keep hating. You know,
Facts.
I went over. I did the complete opposite. I was talking about the boxing record. You know how they do like the 0-7 and one
Yeah.
and four. I went the
Mm-hmm.
complete opposite. The first like I don't know, out of the first like eight guys I fought, six of them were undefeated. I think. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, in boxing. You know,
Oh yeah.
so um. Yeah, you know, I'm fighting the best guys are the top guys in the sport, and so I'm got noticed quick, and yeah, it came with a lot of haters like, oh, this MMA guy, but like, man, they can hate all they want, but I went after all the toughest dudes. I never backed down from nobody. I fought them all, and I beat
Yeah.
more than half of them. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I'm playing their game, you know. So don't like you can hate on me, but I'm coming in there and playing your game. Like if you start adding tricks, if I can start wrestling you and like all you know how to do is box, and I can wrestle you, man. You know. So I
Right.
don't know. Like eventually you can't deny it. You know. I come back
Absolutely.
over to MMA after the year break of boxing,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean it did nothing but help me. So
Dude, I
yeah,
mean,
now
the proof
now I
is in the
get all my
pudding.
tools. Now I get to use all my tools, you know?
Dude, the proof is in the pudding, man. Watching you go out there and dominate a legendary fighter like an Anthony Pettis, and then you go out there and you have another great performance right off the toes of that. And it's interesting because and there's been a lot of talk with a couple different things, right? There's been a lot of talk with MMA fighters fighting boxers, and there's been a lot of talk about fighter pay. So you're out there, obviously with the PFL. We understand at the end of the rainbow, there's $1 million if you win the show, right? Top rank is it. So you've been in every type
Yep.
of thing. What are you seeing since that now that you're in it, now that you've been in both sports? What are your thoughts on this? And is it something as simple as, yo, you got to fight to get paid? Or is it like, yo, no, dog, we're doing this the right way over here or over there, they got it figured out?
Man, that's tough because you know, you got boxing, and then you got celebrity boxing, and then you got, you know, the UFC and all the other MMA promotions. And
Mm-hmm.
so you know, and then you got boxers that own their own promotions and that are like the biggest promotions in the world, you know. So,
Right. Right.
like, man, it's tough to get rich doing it. We'll just say that much, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people trying to do it in boxing and mixed martial arts. It's tough to be one of the top dogs when it comes to fighting, you know. So I think the
No.
top dogs should be the ones getting paid, honestly, you know.
Yeah.
If you're the baddest dude, like pay that man, you know, that we
Pay
all
them.
come to see some fights. Pay that man, you know.
Facts. Absolutely.
All the whole top 10, we're entertained by it. We're all paying to see it. Those top 10 guys are what we all care about. If you can make it up to the top 10, man, they should be all making money, you know.
Absolutely.
But then there's a lot of fighters that just like aren't that good, you know, too. So there's a lot of dudes out
It's
there
real.
like, and they wanna they're trying to get paid too. So yeah, it's tough, man. That is just a tough thing. I mean, boxing's been around for a while, and the money that was made in boxing was spent to make more money in boxing, you know. So they got more money. So yeah, if they have more money to pay, then yeah, they obviously they can pay more. They should pay more. But I mean, being a fighter, man, I like entertaining
Just fight.
fans, man.
Yeah.
I think that's why I get a lot of attention in boxing from people, and like you said, a lot of the boxing community started like rooting for me. You know, they're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, like this guy's actually, you know, and
Yeah.
I think it's
Fucking
just
goes
because
after it.
I love fighting. Yeah, and I'm exciting, man. I'll go out
Yeah.
there. I would try whatever, man. I've had people show me moves, like show me something one time in a locker room or something, and I'd remember it and be like, I'm gonna do that right in the middle of a fight, you know. Let's try some. Like I'm crazy when I fight. I'll do whatever, you know. I'll throw spinning heel kicks. Yeah, I work on them a little bit, but like I mean that's a hard kick to land, but I'm gonna swing
Oh,
it, you
hell
know.
yeah.
Like I just love fighting, and I think that's why you know, in both sports, people did get behind me, you know, is because they can see that I just love scrapping, you know.
Oh, fam, like the definition of it. You know what I'm saying? You go out there and just
Yeah.
sling it. And dude, like I said, the proof is in the pudding. You're going out there, you're a legitimate two-sport athlete. I'm still waiting for one of these damn Paul brothers or one of these celebrity fighters to legitimately try to call you out, because they're always trying to call out people who don't know how to box. So we're actually seeing it finally, I think, with Woodley, but I'm loving this. Well, let me ask you this, dude, because you said it at the top of the show. You grew up scrapping. This is what you do. What got you into MMA and boxing? What got you into combat sports? What made you fall in love?
Oh man, that goes way back, man, to when I was a kid, man. I was hanging out with some friends and they had a wrestling practice. They were all
Yeah.
going to wrestling, you know. I'm like wrestling, and I'm over here thinking the only wrestling I know is this WWE, like the Rock,
Yeah.
freaking Mankind, you know. It was like the Rock and Sock connection going on, like you
Straight
know,
up.
like way
Stone
back
Cold and them.
WWE, you know.
Hell
That's it.
yeah.
That's all I know about wrestling. So I'm like, well, I want to go. I'm like, I want to go, and they're like, oh, yeah, you know. So they like bring me along, and obviously it wasn't WWE. I didn't get to hit nobody with a chair. Dang it. Uh, but you know, they did the takedown game. If you're a wrestler, I mean, everybody learns this game. Everybody gets in a line. You start, you know, smallest person over here, biggest person over here. Two smallest guys are gonna come out. Winner moves on. You take the guy down, you move on. You know. And so I was like one of the smaller guys, you know, and I ended up like taking every single, even the bigger kids, I was taking them down.
Right when you first
And
started, like first time they brought you out there?
yeah. I was just I was an aggressive little kid. I had a lot of brothers, and yeah, I don't know. I just
I
was
swear,
spearing at
there's
me, boom,
something to that,
like
man.
a little 6-year-old, you know. Yeah, I was a they said go. I just took off running and speared the kid. You know, I don't know. I won. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're
I
like,
just
that's what's up.
tackled the guy and I win. So yeah, I ran home, you know, after the practice, and I'm all excited about it. You know, Mom, we did the takedown game, and I took everybody
Yeah.
down. I'm a badass, you know. And so she signed me up for wrestling.
So that's
And
dope.
then my grandpa moved down where we were living in Utah from Arizona.
Okay.
And he found us a box. He wanted us to know how to box. So
Okay.
he like
Okay.
made it his mission to find a boxing coach, and
Nice.
he eventually ended up finding a guy in the next town over that he ended up opening the gym for us to go like learn how
Dope.
to box. You know, he reopened his old gym.
Yeah.
So that's when we learned how to box. That was my grandpa. So, but yeah, ever since I was a kid, man, as soon as I learned how a little bit of wrestling, man, I was hooked. And then same thing with
You hooked.
boxing. Took me to the gym. I remember it took me to the gym. My brother was trying to like hit the speed bag, you know.
Yeah.
And I like kind of vaguely remember like seeing it in movies and
Yeah.
stuff, and go, oh, like, I know how to do that. I ran over there and was like smacking the speed bag, thinking I was all cool, you know. Look, immediately, you know, felt like Rocky.
Nah, that's what's up, man. Well, shit. Look,
Yeah,
speaking of Rocky, let me ask you this: the transition. Before we get you out of here, dude, and thank you so much for your time today, bro. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I know you got your fight coming up on the 13th. I know you're getting done with training right now, so I appreciate it, man. But yeah, like I said,
for sure.
speaking of Rocky, do you have? And I'm gonna ask you for martial arts, and I'm gonna ask you for boxing. Do you have any movies that you were just like your go-to flicks, boxing flicks, or martial arts flicks, like kung fu flicks?
I mean, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, classic. I'm
Classic.
super into anime. Um,
Well, I'm a Naruto guy. What's your guy? Where we at?
yeah. So Kenshin, Hamura Kenshin.
Oh shit, I
Kenshin
don't know that.
Himura is the guy's name. Yeah, he's a samurai who's like he's a total badass. He's like can kill whoever, but he doesn't like killing people. Like he renounces killing and he flips his blade around.
Yeah,
So
he's just
will
whooping
he
your
hit
ass with the
you?
back
But
end of the blade.
it's just with the back end of the blade, and he just
Damn.
like he turns into a wanderer and just wanders around and like helps people and like there's still
Damn.
people trying to run around killing everybody, you know. So the war's still kind of happening, so he walks around and just stops someone, beats him with the back of his sword, and then throws him in jail and just
Oh,
wanders
that's sick.
around. It's pretty good.
Oh, that's sick. I'm gonna check that
So
shit
it's
out,
a
man. I
love
love that.
story too, honestly. Yeah,
Hey, fam,
it's a love story
I'm a
too.
rom com fan. I'm all about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's what's up.
But
Well, how about this? And
and there's this
mhm.
really good Jet Li movie called I think it's called One. Um,
Okay.
I think it's called
Oh
One.
yeah, it is. It's
Pretty sure.
it is a Jet Li movie called
It's
One. Yeah,
in
that
all
was classic, old
subtitles.
school.
Yeah, that's a
Mhm.
good movie. If you're gonna watch a
Crazy.
martial arts movie, that's the movie you should watch.
Oh man, wait, that wasn't the one. No, I was saying that's a different one. Remember the one where they put the like the leash on him, and they used to like let him off the leash and shit back in
Oh
the day. That
yeah,
was another. Oh, dude, because that's
yeah.
not the same one, but but Jet Li,
Dude,
dude, is one of my
I love
favorites,
Jet
man.
Li.
That
Well,
dude is a fucking killer.
there's another Jet Li movie. There's another Jet Li movie called The One where it's like uh all the Jet Lis from all the different dimensions fight and like steal each other's power. That's
Right.
not the right movie. I think it's just called One, like
One, yeah.
ONE, One.
Hmm.
You know, I
No,
think
that's
that's what
I
it's
think
called.
I
I can't
remember that
remember,
one.
but it's really good Jet Li movie.
It's fire. All right, let me ask you this before we get you out of here, man. favorite go-to boxing and favorite go-to MMA fights. If someone's never watched a fight before, what were the fights that you get like, you have to watch this one?
Ooh. The Rory McDonald, Robbie Lawler was a pretty epic.
That is epic. Yo, I cannot believe Robbie Lawler is about to fight Nick Diaz again, fam. That shit blew my mind when I found that out.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like fight. I like the Diaz brothers, man. They just
love those
fighting,
dudes,
bro.
man.
You know, yeah, I like the Diaz brothers. They're cool. Man, there's so many good fights. Freaking John Jones when he beat up Shogun Ruo was pretty good.
When he first won the chip.
You know, and he was young too. What was he, like 21?
23 or something like that? Yeah. He's the youngest champ in UFC history, man. Dude was crazy with it, especially when he first came out.
That was a pretty good fight.
Dude, that was dope. And how about? And I have to ask you this too. I'm gonna ask you this before, because I know you have Arizona ties. Do the Suns get it done in 5?
Oh man. I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say my mom's gonna be my good luck charm on this one. She was born in Arizona. So yeah, I'm gonna say they're gonna get it done. I'm with the Suns.
There we go, man. And look, we have you fighting. Like I said, you're coming out there. You're fighting Ryusha Manifo on August 13th on ESPN. Brother, how is that fight gonna go?
Oh man, I think we're gonna play. We're gonna play the striking battle. Striking game a little bit. I think he's gonna try to play with me. At least for the first little while, and then I think he's gonna try to start wrestling on me. That's how. I mean, I'm gonna come out and we're gonna start playing like picking shot. We're gonna start fighting, and as soon as I start beating him up a little bit, he's gonna resort to trying to wrestling, and that's when I got it in the bag when that happened. So.
There it is, man. Well, Clay, my brother Cassius Clay Collard, I appreciate you joining me on the show today. Much continued success. I hope we get an opportunity to do this again, man. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate your time today.
For sure. Have a good one, dude.
Absolutely, brother. Take care.
Later.
All right, everybody. That is our guest of the day, Cassius Clay Collard, man. Like I said before, dude is the person you need to watch out for in this PFL lightweight tournament. He is going out there. He is dominating fights. He's beating some of the best guys in the world. And when he's doing this, it's incredible to watch, man. So with that being said, this has been episode 301 of the Greatest Combat Sports and Culture Show, the entire universe, the Fight Podcast. Thank you to our guests. And we will see you next time right here on the Fight Podcast. Peace.